Right, so I'm going to show you how to create that start and stop sounds little Flash movie that we've looked at in a previous lesson. So this one is the example that I've shown you previously that if I run this, I don't know if this recorder will capture the audio. But basically this has a sound playing in the background that we can press stop, will stop the sound, press go, will start the sound. So it's quite simple, but it's a little bit different to how we've attached sound in the background because the sound isn't attached to the timeline. It's attached via ActionScript, and it's triggered through that on-click events that we've got there. So the first thing I've got here is just a background. Background is really just to match the music that I found, but nothing more. So you can put any background in you like. It's not really essential to do because all we really need are some buttons, and then I'm going to add an actions layer, which is where all the action script for the starting and the stopping of the sound are. I think I'll add another layer called a buttons layer, which is where I'm going to put my buttons. Okay. Now, what I'm going to use for buttons is just a green and a red rectangle or square. It's going to just put it in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to start off with red. I'm going to turn that, first of all, into a movie clip. So press F8, and I'm just going to call it start stop BTN. No spaces. Make sure it's a movie clip and click OK. So now I'm going to double click on that symbol to go inside it, and you can see up here, top left hand corner, it says start stop button to show you that we're inside the symbol. And then on frame 2, I'm going to press F6 to add a keyframe and then just change the color of that button to be green. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for now. Okay, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of ActionScript. This isn't absolutely essential. It is in the first frame, but it's not in the second frame because we don't want that button to loop through that red and green color. Otherwise, when you start the movie, it'll just flash green and red constantly. So that stop action will stop that from happening. And just as a bit of a fail safe, I'm going to put it on frame 2 as well. You can see the little A down here to show that we've got a piece of ActionScript on those 2 layers. So that's all we need to do inside the button. So just come out of there with that arrow so that we're just in scene 1 up here. Now, I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call it Music MC. MC short for movie clip, so Music MC. Press enter. We need to give it a name so that I can refer to that button in the ActionScript. Okay, so the next thing to do is just to import the sound that we're going to use. So File, Import. I've already downloaded a sound file. If you haven't already, then you can pause the video and go find a sound file. The sound file I'm going to use is this one here. It's an MP3 sound from flashkit.com. It's just a sound loop and it's under instrumental if you want to use the same one. So open that and you should see it will appear in your library. So next we need to give that piece of music an ActionScript name as well. So right click on it and choose Properties. Go to ActionScript. Tick the box that says Export for ActionScript. And it will just use the name that it has for the file name, so Marimba. Just be careful to take note if it's an upper or lower case because it is case sensitive, and click OK. You can ignore that message, that's fine. We're just going to click OK to that as well. All right, next, we're just about ready really to do the ActionScript. So select frame 1 of your actions layer and then click on the button and press F9 because the ActionScript will actually go behind the button itself. So press F9. Okay, I'm just going to enlarge this so you see what we're going to do. Okay, I'll try and explain as much of this as I can as I go, and I'm just going to copy over ActionScript from another movie so it's a little bit quicker. So the first things I'm going to use are these 2 here. So I'll explain, take all 3 of those there, and I'll explain what this is doing. So we're creating here, we're creating a variable of type of called sound, SND. Okay, and it's going to be attached to the music file that we give a name to. So mine was called marimba. So I need that to say, instead of music, I need it to say marimba with a capital M, because that's what mine was. And that also needs to say marimba. Okay. Notice that's SND. So whatever that is there, and that can actually be called anything you like, but I'm just going to call it SND. And then SND.play. What that line does is the sound file will play immediately on starting the movie. Okay. Now, if you don't want it to start immediately, you can just remove that line completely. And finally, what this one does, you can see that Music MC is the name I gave the button. Or it's going to act like a button. Now, because it's a movie clip, because I didn't want it to act like a button when I was editing it, I need to just set its button mode to true. So music MC.button mode equals true effectively then turns it into, doesn't turn it into a button, but it can be treated as a button, so that I can do the following, because I'm about to add a event listener to that button. So click on the little code snippet tool. We're going to add an action script and an event handler. And just like we've done before, we're going to use a mouse click event. So double click on mouse click event. And that has added an event handler for that button. Okay. I have a feeling something is in the wrong place because my it's not all together on the same in the same place, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. So I'm just going to delete some of these extra bits of code. Okay, so this here is our event handler. And you just got to make sure that that says the name of the button that you added to the timeline. This bit here, you can just leave that as it is. Generally speaking, it would make sense to give it a better name than what we've got here, but it's fine for now. Okay, now the action script that I want, I'm going to just copy over again from the other movie. Okay, I want that if statement there. And I'll explain what this if statement does. Yeah, I can see I've got some stuff in the wrong place. Just on the, yeah, I'd like to put all in the same place. But this will still work. But I've got two layers, an actions layer and a buttons layer, and I've got some action script on the buttons layer and some action script on the actions layer. I'm just putting them in the same place. Okay, so you can see that now I only have action script in one place, which is the actions frame, which is where it should be. So I've got an if statement here, and what the if statement does, if the movie clip music MC, which is the movie clip that we put on the frame with the green and red, if that current frame is equal to 1, which is the starting frame, then when it's pressed, we need to go to and stop frame 2. So that will effectively turn the button green because frame 2 is green. And then that is just stop all sounds. So this line of code stops all sounds that are currently playing. Okay. Otherwise, so if that's not true, so if the movie clip isn't frame 1, so any other frame, and we've only got 2, so if it's frame 2, then music MC, just be careful on upper and lowercase, go to and stop frame 1, so that'll take you back to frame 1 where the red button is, and we start the sound. So it's simple. That's basically switching between play or stop. Okay, so this starts the sound. And that's it really. Assuming I've done everything correctly, we just quickly test that. Got no action script errors, which is a good sign. If you've got any action script errors, then we've probably got a problem. If we click stop, yep, the music is stopped. If we click play, the music starts. And that's it. Hopefully you find that easy to follow. Have a go in lesson, and then we'll move on to doing something a little bit more advanced.